Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is the second viewer review session. Today we're looking at Derek, who's come back after about 10 years of not playing poker. And his session today that he sent in is a 5NL standard tables this time rather than Zoom, and he's playing 6 max. His main issue that he said to me in the emails was getting a bit stuck post-flop, not sure what to do. So we do cover quite a few hands where we're talking about post-flop decision making, which hopefully will help him out and help a few more guys out. The big takeaway for me from this one for Derek, which we'll go into in more detail, is tagging players and making notes on them. I think your win rate will go up dramatically if you start making notes on those bad players and targeting them when you've got strong hands and stuff. But again, we'll discuss that a lot more in the video. So let me know in the comments below, do you tag players? How do you tag your bad players? What notes do you make on them? What colour schemes do you use? I personally keep it pretty simple. Use green for bad, red for tight players, and then if they've got a 40% VPIP plus, I tag them as a whale in blue. So I keep it pretty simple. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you at the end of the video. This hand, the ace-king hand on the left, we have had a limper in from early position and then you've ISO'd, which is great. Fairly good size and around about 5 big blinds out of positions, perfect. And then again, notes on the player. Tag these players, make your notes. What's he doing limping with half a stack? Terrible. Tag him, make some notes on him. Same with these players on table 2, 71% VPIP, playing with 25 big blinds. Put a tag on him, not very good. This guy here, the Brazilian guy, again, tag him, make a note on him, playing the full deck. So, this guy here, after we've ISO'd, we've checked, and I don't mind a bet against a limp, to be honest with you. What can he have? And then he comes out with a pot size bet. So what's his range look like? It's either spade draw, some sort of queen X, pocket sixes or pocket twos. It's very unlikely that he's limping in with queen 6 suited or queen 2 suited at 35% VPIP. If he's got a 50% VPIP, then fair enough, but I doubt it. And he's called an ISO as well. So there's not many other draws there that would come out and bet pot apart from the spades. So he's either got a set, top pair or a spade draw. Or you might just be blasting with air. So against this type of player, I'd make a note, bet pot when checked to, and next time you have a really strong hand against him, if you've got ace queen, king queen or a set, check to him. If he pots, just let him blast off. He'll build the pot for you. My suspicion is he just blasts off whenever he gets checked to. He'll just bet pot or something ridiculous to try and win the hand. But note taken again. So this is just a quick thing again on table 1 where you're 7-8 suited, and it's again about note taking. So we'll just speed this up a touch against our man here. Fine with the pre-flop action, calling. He's gone massive here on the flop on a pretty connected board. I don't know what he's doing, and you'll even be more baffled when you see the final results. I don't hate a raise here at all, because if we turn a diamond or a 9 or an 8, we can bomb it. So I don't mind a raise on the flop at all, and as played, it's fine. And then he goes quite large again, and you go for the raise. And this guy here, I don't know what he's thinking when you see it. And when you see what he's got at the end, absolutely bombs it and goes all in on that board with king 10. I mean, it's such an overplay. I can't really put it into words, really. It's so badly played on that board. Like, a 9 beats him. You've got all the sets there apart from 10s, because 10s probably raises pre-flop, and he has a 10, obviously. But I mean, you could have 7-6, you can have 8-9, you can have 7. Like, you've just got, there's loads of stuff beats him. I don't know what he's thinking. So make a note on this guy. make notes on your players. Even if you just keep it super simple and have red for tight players and green for shit players, and just give him a green tag and put a note in there against him. Massively overplays top pair. And anytime you have a better hand than top pair, when you've got 2 pair, whatever, just get it in. Because he's going to call you. He's just going to bang it in with top pair. And not even top. So just take notes on these players. And you'll find when you're at tables with them and you've got three or four green players you've tagged as not very good, stop on that table and take advantage of them. When you're at a table with players where you've tagged them as red because they're quite tight, just come off that table and find a different table. So yeah, take notes on these players. We're looking at table 1 with the ace jack suited. And we get a raise from the cut-off. And then it folds round to you. And we decide to go for a flat call eventually. So, against a player that's playing nearly a third of the deck, your strong aces, your ace queen, your ace jacks, even ace 10 suited, I would edge more towards 3-betting them because his opening range is so wide. People opening from the cut-off and button, their opening range there from those 2 positions is pretty wide anyway. And then this guy's playing a third of the deck as well. So this is pretty much a value hand against someone like that. I would definitely raise against him because he's so loose. So let's get a bit more money in the pot and get rid of some of that junk that he's playing. And then we go to the post flop action. And you check out a position, which is fine. And he goes for a check. So what does his range look like when he checks? Against a player who's playing a third of the deck, do you think he bets his King X most of the time? I think he bets it nearly all of the time. I think he bets his King X. So I very much doubt he has a king. Do you think he would bet his flush draws most of the time? I think he'll bet them nearly all of the time against that type of player. I also think he'll bet his Queen Jacks, and I also think he'll bet his 8-9s all of the time against that type of player. So we can pretty much rule out a good portion of his range there. I don't think he's got any kings, I don't think he's got any hearts, and I don't think he's got any straight draws either. So I would come out on the turn with a pot-ish size bet and put him to the test with my ace jack. And if you get called, you're not in a horrible position. You've got equity, you've got a gut shot. We don't think he's got a king, so your jack's probably good. And if you hit your ace is probably good. So I would most definitely bet here on a turn. I would not check. I would definitely bet. And I would go large. And he goes for a, eventually, check again. So what can he have here? He's pocket 5s, pocket 6s, random ace high rubbish. I just don't think he's got a great deal of anything at all. I would probably bomb this river as well. The way you've played it, I would come out and lead this river for about pot size bet. Is a 4 going to call you? Is pocket 5's going to call you? Maybe. I don't know. But I think the big mistake here was not coming out and leading out on the turn. I have no faith in players at 5 and L folding to a check raise, even if he's got like 5-4 of diamonds there. But you could probably go for it and get pretty much most of his stuff to fold. But that hand there, definitely the turn, I think is the big mistake. I would definitely lead out on the turn for a really big size there, because I just don't think that type of player ever has any King X in his range whatsoever. Next hand to look at is the Ace Queen on table 1, and a little bit to talk about this one just because of the previous dynamic. So if you remember, this guy is the guy who bombed it for pot when you checked to him with your Ace King earlier on. So if we'd have made a note on this guy here, this hand would have been an excellent candidate to check to him, because we know pretty much he can't have any Ace King because it should most of the time raise pre-flop. He can have some Jack X, but for half a stack I don't think I'd be folding to him if we checked to him and he bet and we got it all in. So for me, I'd have made a note against this guy in the previous hand. And this hand I would have checked to him, because if he's got an ace, don't ever see him not betting it. I think he will absolutely bomb it with his top pair. He'll do that with his jack as well, but his ace-x is most definitely going to bomb it if we check to him. As played though, I like the half pot bet. The reason why I like it is his jack-x is always going to raise. But I still don't think I would fold to him for half a stack anyway, because of what I've seen already. So when we go half pot and he calls without even taking a second to think, mind, he just clicks the call button straight away. Timing tells I put a lot of weight behind. I think 90% of the time, if a player has a jack, they will at least take a couple of seconds to contemplate whether they're going to raise or whether they're going to flat call and slow play it. They never just snap it off with the jack. They always, you'll see them take a second or 2 seconds to think about, am I going to raise? Do I think I should raise here, or should I just call and slow play it? When you see them snap call like that straight away, he's never got a jack. Never ever in a million years has he got a jack. So I would most of the time here put him on an ace. Particularly with the speed he's called. It's either an ace or something like King 10 or Queen 10 or something like that, or King Queen even. So this is a bit of the hand that I really don't like. We're pretty sure he doesn't have a jack at this point. So why have we gone half pot? When you go half pot here, it makes more sense when we get towards the river. But if you look at your stack to pot now, because you've only gone half pot there on the turn, you're going to have to overbet to get his full stack in. If you go 70% pot on the turn, as we've discussed already, a jack at least thinks about raising, at least takes a couple of seconds on the flop before making the decision to call. An ace or a draw snaps you off straight away without a second thought. So I would go at least 70% pot on the turn, because then your pot's going to look something more like 35 big blinds, and his stack will look more like 25 big blinds. So you can just go 70% again on the river and you've put him all in and he won't really think about it. An overbet on the river at 5 and L usually screams strength. He probably won't fold an ace anyway. But your stack to pot looks much, much better. This hand, the way it plays out when you see the final results at the end, I think most of the time he's got an ace here, most of the time. Because you block a lot of the draws holding a queen. And he snaps you off again without a second thought. You could have got his stack there, most definitely. And the two ways we could have got it is, on the flop, we know he bombs it when he's being checked to. So you can either check to him on the flop, expecting him with an ace to bomb it, and then the stacks are going to go in, probably on the turn. Or we can bet half pot, like you've done. His action says he probably doesn't have a jack because he's just snapped us off straight away without a second thought. A jack always at least thinks about raising for a second or two. Then we can go 70-75% on the turn, and the stack to pot looks much better. He's got 25 big blinds left in his stack, the pot's 35, you press 70% again, bang, it's all in, we get the rest of his stack off him. So that one there, I just think you've missed out on a ton of value there. You could have got that stack off him, most definitely. Next one, we're going to look at this Jack 9 suited, and we'll look at a bit about how I structure bluffing and my decision making on what I'm going to do. So we've opened the Jack 9 suited and we get a flat against a pretty tight opponent. And you go for the small bet, which is fine, and he snaps you off pretty quick. On the turn here, you go for a check. 100% of the time, I would c-bet this on the turn. And I would bet quite small. So the way I would do it with this hand is I'd bet half pot on the flop, because that's just what I do as a standard. It takes away some of your thinking power, because I just do it all the time against these players. I'd half pot it, and then on the turn when another king comes, I'd go for around about 33% pot, so a third of the pot. If you think about it, on the flop, if you bet half pot or even your small size bet there, 7-8 on that, because there's a flush draw there, 7-8 all the time is going to raise. King 8 is going to raise. King 7 is going to raise. A set of 8s is going to raise, and a set of 7s might not if he has the 7 of spades. That's probably the only hand I can think of that won't raise, but I would pretty much say 99% of the time, his 2 pair and better is always raising. So he can't have any super strong hands. He can't have ace king either, because he should be raising that pre-flop from these positions. Even a tight player, most of the time, is going to raise, so he won't have that either. So on the turn, I would bet a third of the pot. And if he's got a king, what's he going to do? He's going to raise all of the time. He's going to raise. So we pretty much know, if we'd have followed my course of action, where we bet flop, bet turn, and he's not raised at any point, he never, ever has a king. The best hand he could have slow played at this stake is probably pocket 7s with a 7 of spades, but you just don't see it at 5-0. You just don't see it. So I'd have gone for my half pot on the flop. I'd have then gone for a third on the turn, because it's a small enough bet size where a king is going to go. He's not getting away with that. I'm raising here. I've got a king. And then river, if he calls that turn bet, river, I would absolutely bomb it, because he doesn't have any kings. He has no super strong hands there, ever. So I would just bomb it. I'd go river, I'd go pot and a half to 2x pot. And you'll get pretty much a range fold. I don't think ace jack would want to call there if you 2x pot that on the river. At all. Because the pot's going to be round about 20 bigs come the river, and you're going to put 40 in. I think ace jack's going to struggle to find a call there, because he's going to put you on a king all of the time. So that's the course of action I'd have taken. If he calls you, make a note. So if you follow my course of action of half pot, third pot, and then bomb river, if he calls you with his top pair, with his ace, just make a note on him. Won't fold top pair. And then next time you get in a hand with him and you've got top or whatever, bet for value, and you'll take all his money off him. So note taking again, take notes on these players. But that is how I would have played that hand, most definitely. Last one we're going to look at is a hand against our man here on table 1. And what do we notice he's done now, pre-flop? The previous hands he's limped in, and this time he's gone for a min raise. So do we think his range is weaker or stronger than his limping range? It should be stronger, shouldn't it? Obviously. So do we think he's raising king 3 suited or king 5 suited? I don't. I don't think he raises 3s pre-flop or 5s pre-flop from there either. I think he limps in with them all day long. So the very best hand I think he's got here is kings. I don't think he's got any 2 pairs at all, because he'd limp in with them. And I don't think he's got a set of 5s or set of 3s, because I think he limps in with them. And we've got the diamonds. So he then goes for a pot size bet again. He's blasted it, like we've seen him do previously. In my opinion, this is a king, and he could also have 2 kings. I think that's all he's got. He's got a king of some description all of the time. And I don't mind the flat call there at all. I don't think if he's got king 9 of hearts or king 10 of spades, that if you raise, he ever folds. I just don't think he's ever going to fold a king, ever. So turn comes. Unless he's got kings, it doesn't make any difference whatsoever, because I don't think he's got 5s, 3s, or king 5 or king 3 suited. He goes for a large bet again. And again, I think raising suicide, because I don't think he's ever folding. And this is the point. This bit here is the bit I don't like. It's the check on the river. So if he's got king 9, king 10, king jack, king queen, does he like seeing an ace on this river? I don't think he does. And I don't think, unless he's got ace king or kings, or aces, he is ever in a million years going to bet this river. And I think if you lead out for a third or half pot, I think against this guy, he calls you with a king for a half pot lead out here all of the time. I just think you've missed out on value here. If you lead out and for half pot and he comes over the top of you, you can fold because he's either got aces, kings or ace king. That's it. He's never turning his king into a bluff here by coming over the top of you. Like maybe one player in 100 might do it at 5-L, but he's just going to snap you off. We've not seen him think about a decision before he's taken an action one time. He just immediately clicks a button without any thought whatsoever. So this dude is never turning a king into a bluff, ever. And if somehow he's got 7-8 of diamonds, which I don't think he's ever got because he would have limped in with a pre-flop. I don't think he raises that ever. He's never going to turn that into a bluff either and come over the top of you. It's just not happening. So I really don't like when you check this river here because I think you're missing out on a ton of value, especially against a player like this. All day lead out. Lead out. He'll call half pot all day. So lead out for half pot here and he will snap you off without thinking about it. Because so much of his range isn't going to bet. They're just going to hate it, as we've discussed. All his king 9 of hearts and whatever other king X rubbish he's got isn't going to bet. So you've definitely missed out on some value here. Definitely. And if he comes over the top, like I've discussed, just fold. Because it's never a bluff at 5-L. Never in a million years. So that one there, especially against him, we've looked at quite a few hands with that guy. He's a bad player. Tag him. Tag the other bad players like we've discussed. Make notes on them when they're doing stupid stuff like popping it on the flop when you check to them. Make notes that he does that and take advantage of him next time you're in a hand with him. And get his stack off him. You'll stack him every time. He's rubbish. So that's the big takeaway for me from your session. Your pre-flop stuff was sound. There was no hands that I was looking at, scratching my head going, what are you doing? Why are you opening that? It was sound. There was not an issue with any of it. But note taking on players and tagging them as bad will improve your win rate dramatically. And then value. Put him on a range. He's got a king. Bet your ace. Because if he's got ace king, he's coming over the top of you. All day, players like that, lead into them because he's not going to bet a king there ever. I don't think 99% of the players are going to bet king 10 or king queen there for thin value on the river when that ace comes. And the ace queen hand against him, same player again. 75%, 70% turn bet. Think to yourself, how can I get his stack off him? What do I need to bet to get him all in? Because he'll call you. So yeah, I hope everyone got something from that session. Really appreciate everyone who's emailed, who's saying that they're going to send videos in, and everyone who sent videos in. It's quite a big thing airing your play for everyone to see online. So I really appreciate it. And think to yourself before anyone decides to put a comment in saying something quite snotty about anyone's play, mine included. You're putting yourself out there for other people to have a look at how you're playing and trying to improve. And most of the comments from everyone are really, really constructive and people who want to learn. So I like the community that's building around the channel. It's great. Keep it up because it's great stuff. Thanks again for watching. I'm going to start doing a 10,000 hands at 5-L next because those 2-L videos are starting to take off. And if anybody else wants a session reviewed, send it in. Google Drive seems to be the best way to send larger videos over. And I will see you guys in the next probably 10,000 hands at 5-L video. As always, thanks for watching and thanks for all the support. It means a lot.